honestly have no idea. I honestly have no idea who I was working for. On my phone, I had very, very minimal social media presence, even though it did exist. The company seems so legit. I mean, scholarships for the kids, all kinds of not necessarily all kinds of perks either, but just sporadic perks per se. And came with an ID and a little card. It was a very, very interesting position to be in, and I think that it was completely legitimate, but it wasn't for me. I don't think that that job was on the up and up, and I just feel that way in my brain. It's just like this wig is so big, it makes my head look so huge. I need to flatten it out a little bit. And then it was like the phone was doing the weirdest things. It still do weird things, but not like it did. Like I actually feel the phone feel a little lighter. There be telltale signs to a lot of speculative opportunities. And one of the options that I had in my job previously was if I didn't go into a certain area due to safety. Now, here are some of those safety issues that I ran into while working. Multiple times that I go into remote, destitute, male populated areas, meaning that this is obviously your places where men come to work at probably between 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning, and by what we consider lunchtime, 11, 12, their days are done. They're not on work site for more than an hour upon arrival, and if you have no business in the area where they work, meaning I may be going to not even a recycle area, because those places have operations throughout the day, there's traffic, but just some random, I don't know, because I never went all the way in, but just a random place. There was no need for anyone to be back there. Man, woman, black, brown, no one should be back there. Also, places that have distinctive signs like do not trespass, do not enter. And again, you're entering into an area that there's a road that leads you down a winding, creepy situation type deal. Then there is the offices that you go to that are not appropriate. Like, this job was setting me up, and anyone else that works there, for an arrest, depending on the state you live in. And then it was weird because I was talking, and I hear myself talking to these people that I'm speaking to as a part of my job, and I have to reword what I say in order for me to feel safe based off of what I'm doing. And I know that those recordings are now further assisting in this speculative situation. I mean, it gave me benefits. What kind of dream state am I living in? This job came with benefits that, had I stayed on, they would have gone into effect in a couple of weeks. HSA account, all types of shit. But I'm not necessarily certain what this job is going to lead me to, other than the inside of a jail cell, because I was clearly soliciting. I was clearly going into places where... So one day I pull up to this restaurant, and it is a restaurant. There's one car in the parking lot, and it's a building. It looks like a scene from any movie where there's about to be a scene where a killer just comes out of nowhere while there's two people sitting at a table in a restaurant having old tea and stale coffee with the donuts. Anyway, it's I don't know. I didn't go inside. I didn't even pull into the parking lot. I was across. So it was in a parking lot across from a little town, not a tiny strip mall, but a very big strip mall, but not for nothing. Without any traffic at this restaurant, there's one car parked in the parking lot. The restaurant doors, I wish I had a little thing where I could paint you a little scene. so you can see how it looks. Because in my brain, I'm envisioning it, but you can't see what my brain sees. But I was like, I'm not going over there. I'm not going over there. I don't know if this place is open or closed, but the fuck, I might walk in and not walk the fuck out. I'm not going in there. Um, there was another place that I went to. I opened, like, until a kid opened the door or attempt to open the door, and the person that is in there got a big ass damn pit bull, Rottweiler, wolf of a dog. Even they concerned for their safety in their own fucking establishment. The fuck. Then there was the guy. This man stood about 6'3", 6'4". He weighed about a good 370, 380, solid. I call him a Viking. You know, he had a very distinct accent that was not American or any accent that I was used to, but he reminded me of what I envision a Viking to be. And as I say to him, you know, I'm recording for quality and training, he's like, you're not walking in my fucking business recording me. What the fuck? And it's like the only thing separating me from this man is a counter that happens to be like 6 feet tall, because like even this shit is weird. So anyway, this man begins to lunge towards me. I back up out the place, you know, and I literally almost trip backing up, get in my car, pull out quick, get across the street, try and take a picture of this man's establishment, because that's what I have to do for my job. And there's a red truck in the frame. I'm like, oh, that's different. Where the fuck did they send me? This man dealing in arms and shit and missiles. He got missiles back there. What the fuck? You know, but the moral of that story is, not only did this man become physically aggressive, but he became aggressive because I told him I was recording my visit. I think me being a brown-skinned woman just further enticed his anger. And, you know, had the counter not been in between us, the likeliness that that man would have physically assaulted me is in a very high percentage. Like, I don't know what he would have done to me. Then there's like going to a lawyer or an attorney's office, and I'm like, that don't sit well with me, because if an attorney really wants to take the time, like if they're really that bored, they could pick apart what the hell I picked apart day one when I asked this question. Isn't this soliciting? Like, these are solicitations, is this not? And I'm told, no, you're not a solicitor. Okay, so you can walk into no building or establishment that says no solicitor, you can walk in. Okay. I don't feel comfortable. You know, I didn't feel comfortable. And so I've left that position. And it's crazy because I just got hired at this new place. And the work, again, it's like I have to ask myself sometimes if I self-sabotage myself, because I'm very excited to be where I'm going. Don't get me wrong. Like, when this opportunity presented itself and it was tangible, immediately I say to myself, this is something I'm going to attain. And then after I get the opportunity, now it's in my lap, I learn that within this opportunity there is greatness. You know, obviously there's growth everywhere you go. So I am very, very excited to be where I'm going, and I can't wait to start. I'm taking a little bit of hit financially. I'm losing. Actually, I'm not. I'm working harder, and that's when I think, like, you know, do I really want to be the person that's just constantly working harder? Like, always got to work harder to achieve goals. You know, that's just like the human that I am, always working harder to achieve goals. You know, what I was just doing was simple work. It was easy work. But then I also had someone that I felt was not even a feeling. I can see it. They tell me they're manipulating my time. Every week someone's taking 15 minutes away from me. At some point, I'm missing 15 minutes a day. Or, you know, I'm like, this is like $100 a month. At the end of the day, somebody pocketing. So help me understand this pay structure. How am I getting paid? Who is budgeting? Where does this budget to pay me come from? You know, it was a lot there. It was a lot. But I'm happy that I followed the signs. You know, it all began with two little birds under my window. And from that, you know, the trials and the tribulations of just watching a bird build a nest, to hatch eggs, and then to not see someone destroy the environment around them, but to see the environment around them is destroyed, and to have those birds return. And it's like now I'm watching them same little chicks, those same little tiny birds as they grow. They're still babies. They haven't become full adults yet because the summer has not completely ended. When it's time for them to fly south, they'll be full grown. And you know, I'm with that. It's an amazing journey to be on. Two birds sat on my window and they told me I don't have to worry. But I am so excited. I cannot wait. You know, I feel safe. I feel confident in this new position. I feel that everything is a preparation for a new meal or a new destiny, you know, destination. So, woo! I'm excited.